Greetings, Earthlings! Welcome back to another episode of A Runner's Tale. And I was in the shower this morning, and I was thinking to myself, is that a cringy name for a series? I really don't know, but I like it, and we're going to stick with it. This was another solid week of training. I was very happy with it. Before we get into it, though, make sure you give the video a like rating and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Helps the video get noticed, and it's free. So, Monday, we took completely off. I think that was my first day, like, completely off since I came back, and it was real nice. It was real nice. I was a slug for a full 24 hours. I didn't hop on the bike, obviously no running, nothing. I have no memories of Monday. That's how little I did. Let's go to Tuesday when things started to get going. So, as you probably know at this point, I'm trying to make it a point to get more single track runs in. Ran in the New Balance Hieros again. Was joined by Chris, my boss. I started things off by doing a little bit of stretching. Normally I just kind of get right into it. Just did some dynamic sprint drills at the beginning for like 15 minutes. He was running a little bit late, so I had a little bit of extra time, which honestly I really needed because for whatever reason, a couple days this week I've noticed my shins kind of hurt. My knees, my foot obviously, and my hamstrings. It hasn't been anything like concerning, but I've just noticed it and I'm like, I don't like that, and I hope it doesn't get any worse, but right now I'm doing fine, if that makes you feel better. First mile of the week. I gotta say, even after taking yesterday off, I am pretty sore. I think I'm feeling my Sunday long run. In case you were wondering, I did 13 to cap off a 54 mile week. So we're gonna try and keep it in that realm this week as well. Very muddy this morning, especially down here in the valley. Trying to just shuffle again, even though it's better to just walk it. Look at this hill. And also our first little stream crossing did not go well. I am soaked right now.
Right?
Let's hold hands.
Alright, you got it?
Girl power.
Girl power. Alright, you can't run up this. It's not physically possible.
Made it. Oh, it's quite possible Hell Hath will run up that hill this year. Damn it. We're currently in the middle of Jurassic Park right now. Moving well. We decided to start at 8 instead of 9. That was a good call, because it would have been really hot. Not that it isn't hot now, but it actually feels okay. Parting ways here at 5 1/4. Good work, Chris. I'm gonna run to 7, so I'm just gonna literally run down the hill we started at and then turn around. What the fuck was that thing? No way. That was either a fox, a coyote, or a cryptid. That's not happening right now, no. Hit 7 right at the bottom of this hill. That makes me very happy. Good start to the week though. So 7 miles that morning, and then later in the evening I went out for a double run. I'm starting to incorporate a lot of double runs now. This time I went out in the Mizuno Neo Zen. This is my brand new shoe. Shout out to Mizuno for the hookup. We met with the rep at the shop the other day and he just gave us free shoes. Sam was on the bike, Maddie was doing a workout, and I was just doing 4, so they were with me for the first 2, and then I just turned around and went back. We got ice cream after and sang Kumbaya. Good, solid Tuesday. I also stretched. Another 4 miles in the bag. Let's go, baby. 11 on the day. On Wednesday, I went out for another 8-mile jog. That seems to be the theme. 8 seems to be the go-to as of lately. We're the Saucony Triumph 22s. And honestly, I think these shoes are at about the end of the road. I guess I'm getting in a few more runs, and then I'm probably just going to call it on them. This was the first day that I really started to think to myself, I might need to lean into recovery a little bit more. It's not like, oh, I need to stop. That's not an issue. I'm good to go. I can handle the volume. It's going to add up as the weeks go by, and I need to start stretching more, just taking care of my body. In the past, I've spent so much time just focusing on, really digging deep into the volume, and that's great. But if you're not doing the other things, including diet and just like core work and lifting, you're probably in for a really bad time. We are 4 miles in. I'm already feeling very sore from basically the waist down. Started yesterday, and it's not the good kind of soreness. You know when you have a really good lift, and then like a day or two later, you're like, oh, That feels great. Or even a few hours later, same deal. It can feel good. This does not feel good. I have very minor shin splints, which I never get. Hamstrings don't feel great. And of course my foot's bothering me because it's arthritic, probably from the amount of times I've broken these fucking toes in the last few months. If we have to ease back on mileage for a couple days, we'll do that. I mean, 0 to 50, 60 miles a week, that's jolting. The body's like, what the fuck right now? And the reason why I say all these things, why I'm weighing these options right now so early, is because it's a new version of me. A new me. The old Zach, you see, he's dead and gone and buried. He's risen from the ashes like a glorious phoenix. I am going to not only outwork old Zach, you know, the Zach that trained for the Pittsburgh Marathon, the iconic series. I'm joking. I'm gonna address problems now instead of just running. I plan to run a shit ton and also do everything in between now. I'm gonna say that was like the hardest one to get started with this morning, but honestly felt pretty good towards the end. 8 miles. This was the worst day of the week in terms of like achiness I found. Just everything basically below my hips was just kind of in pain. We got past it. We got through it. That's what we do here. Another stretch later in the evening to solidify a solid Wednesday. On Thursday, I did my one and only lift of the week. I'm trying. I should probably be lifting like twice, maybe even 3 times a week, depending on what's going on. But I still did it, even though I didn't want to. I just kind of hit the whole body. I do some bench press, some rows, some weighted walking lunges, shoulder press, RDLs, push-ups, usually diamond push-ups, goblet squats, hammer curls. It was really solid, and I was kind of sore for the rest of the day, but I didn't go so overboard to the point where I was having a really hard time recovering, because later in the day I went out for another run, and this is kind of like a turning point. And what I mean by that is I went out at 3:30 p.m. and I did not realize how hot and humid it actually was. I knew it was hot. I mean, I'm not stupid. I can tell it's really warm out. And it wasn't until I got back from the run that my sister's like, yeah, it's 86 degrees and like 90% humidity, right? I went out for 8 miles in the Brooks Glycerin 22s. I was feeling surprisingly good, which I thought was kind of strange. My hamstring was a little achy, but that was pretty much it, which made me very happy. And then after a few miles, I did a little 2-mile tempo, nothing over the top, but I really started to struggle. The humidity started to catch up to me, and that's what you're going to kind of catch on to going on the rest of the week. And if you can hear the dogs, they are literally rolling around in the mud right now, so it's good. Gonna have to clean them. I am really surprised with our pace right now. Low 7s actually feels easy and natural. Weird. It is hot. I am not the only hot specimen out here right now. It's a scorcher, so getting some nice heat training in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna be praying for this kind of weather. I also got something in my eye, and it's driving me insane. 4 miles, turning around. You know how it goes out here. All right, about to hit 5 here. We're gonna do another little pickup here for a mile or two. We'll see how we're feeling. Glasses off, because we don't need to see where we're going. Hell yeah. I have a feeling my heart rate's gonna be real high here because of the heat, but let's shoot for a sub 6 minute average pace. Mile 6, good pace. We'll do one more. Whew, I need a minute. That heat was devastating. My legs actually felt real good, but yeah, it's just gravity's so much more punishing when the temp's up. But I'm really happy with that. We're coming back. We're coming back. We're gonna fucking do it someday. I believe it, but I just want to point out that last mile, how hard it was for me to run a 5:43. I have to average that for a full marathon to get a 2:30 or sub 2:30. And not to get super technical, but probably a little bit faster than that, like 5:40. Marathons are always a little over 26.2. Every time I see somebody's Strava post, it's like 26.5, 26.4. You gotta account for that. That last mile was a rough one, folks. I don't know what exactly it was, but all I know is when I hit 7 miles, my average pace was like 6:48. And then just now I finished at what, 7:02? So really beat up, but really happy with that. And also, I am definitely sunburnt to a crisp right now. My pale white skin can't handle this. Towards the end of the run, I rolled my ankle pretty bad, my right one. It was kind of achy as well. I'm gonna tell you everything that's happening over the course of the few weeks, because this is part of the story, part of the tale. I put on like a little ankle thing just for precautionary measures. It was off after like an hour. No problem after that. Later in the evening, we went to like a little concert. It's like a 2-minute walk down the street. And it was kind of eye-opening. You know, I didn't really take the weather that seriously until that evening. I remember I was just standing around and I'm just like, I need to sit, man. Like, I am dizzy. I am out of it. Feeling lethargic. I'm like, what is going on? And then after some thought, I realized, like, dude, I'm like severely dehydrated and just depleted. So, got back home, took care of that, and just went on with the day, went on with the week. The following morning was back at Settlers, wore the Saucony Peregrines for this one, 6.5 miles that morning, ran with Chris and Julian, just frolicking in the woods like a bunch of fairies, and had a good time. It was surprisingly not that muddy. It was like the first morning I didn't feel like I was just slipping around in mud. Later that evening I went out for another 4.5 to get us to a grand total of 11 miles, if I can do math correctly. Wore the Saucony Ride 18s, and funny enough, I've had this shoe for a very long time, and I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've ever ran in it. I got it as like a seed shoe at work, probably in like fall of last year. I don't even remember, but I was just using it as like a walk around work shoe. And I'm just like, let's try and run in it. I mean, it's a nice shoe. I like Saucony, so that happened. I made a change before this run. Instead of just drinking water, I got some Element and I poured it in there, and it tasted like shit. But I noticed an improvement immediately after. I didn't feel so out of it, even though once again it was really humid. Element, if you're not aware, is like a, I don't know, it's like similar to Scratch if you've ever had that. It's just like a little powder you pour in there, but the difference is it's really salty. It's like drinking seawater, even if you have like flavors in there. I guess the only one that I'm like okay with is lemonade. I mean, they all taste bad, but I'm drinking it for a practical purpose, right? After the run, I also did some sprint drills and then some striders. I call them striders, by the way, because of Minecraft. There's like a mob in that game. I know a lot of people are like, it's a stride! No, it's a strider. I'm a gamer at heart. It's like a little mini sprint workout that requires little to no effort. So if you do that a couple times a week, it's good. Saturday was a weird one. It was a bit of a doozy. So I woke up at like 4 a.m. The day before that, for whatever reason, I was just so tired. I took like a 3-hour nap. I don't even remember falling asleep. I just remember waking up at like 4 p.m. and wondering what the hell happened. I was in a bit of a frenzy, and I was never right for the rest of the day because I was just so confused. That's probably why I couldn't sleep. Yeah, I rolled around in bed for like an hour, hour and a half. Got up at 5 because I just like, what's the point? Took the ACCLIMATIng Gel Nimbus 27s for a spin. I feel like I'm in a fever dream right now. What's happening? In a perfect world, I honestly wish I was up around this hour every day. That's asking for a lot. Like, look at me. I'm just running in the middle of the road. It's great. I'm swerving in and out of lanes. Nobody's out here to bother me. We're gonna do 5. I'm not doing 6. But I was expecting it to be a lot darker at this hour. It's safe to go on the trail, so let's go do that. It's so dead out here that I could literally drag a dead body up this trail for miles and probably not see a single person. It would appear that my mind is awake, but my body not so much. I'm not moving well right now. I think my body's low-key in shock, not gonna lie. Rain feels nice though. It's a nice little drizzle. 5 miles. I am really happy that's over. I was honestly not having that much fun the last few miles. I mean, it was Kennywood Day, so we were gonna be, you know, walking in the sun, just riding rides all day, and I knew I was gonna be tired, so I saved just like an easy day for that. I thought it was raining. The whole time I'm running, I'm like, wow, man, it's like, this drizzle's kind of nice. And then I get back, and I realize, hey, the humidity is 96%. That wasn't rain. I was chugging water, chugging Element like all morning. We went to the park. I got sick, probably a combination of the heat and humidity, but also just like, I don't know, I think I went a little too hard on the rides at the beginning. I don't know if I'm like, maybe it's an age thing. I can't really do rides the same way I did when I was younger, so I had to like sit around for a long time. But then I rallied, and we had a really good time towards the end. We're in the rapids! Which brings us into Sunday, the final day of the week, ladies and gentlemen, and we saved the best for last. This was the best run of the week. I slept in a little bit, not gonna lie, but I took out the Brooks Hyperion Max 2s for this one. 15-mile long bomb. You love to see it. Finished at like a 6:34 pace. I didn't really have plans for it. I just kind of set off into the sun, and I just noticed immediately I felt smooth, just wanted to move. Sometimes the legs just want to move. And then we got to the turnaround point, and I kind of decided, hey, let's do a little bit of a pickup here. Maybe like 5-mile tempo. I don't really know. We're just kind of testing the waters these past few weeks. Nothing strict, but I managed 4 miles instead of 5. I wussed out. I was cramping up a lot. Halfway there, 7.5. In a half mile, we're gonna do a little 5-mile tempo. But this weather's starting to get punishing. I'm not gonna lie. All right, about to hit 8 here. Still feeling smooth. We're gonna try and shoot for sub 6:15. No, sub 6:10. Not gonna be too strict with it, but let's keep it under that for 5. See how that goes. I think we can do it. Mile 9, nice pace. Feeling a side stitch coming on already, so let's see if we can fight it. Even faster. I think the cramp's gone. It's gotta be strong for the rest of this. Okay. That hurt my ego a little bit, but 4, the cramp was just, it was too much. I didn't want to do another one because of it. A few miles before that, I'd noticed like little cramps starting to linger in there, like a shadow. It's our longest run in quite a while, since like January. Kind of had to cook because I was running late for work. A noon shift, can you believe it? I can't even make it to a noon shift on time. I made it. I've never been late for work, by the way. I just have to point that out. That's what kind of person I am. 90% humidity. Doesn't that suck ass? Like, that sucks ass. Give me a second. That was good. I don't know why I thought I jumped from like a 2-mile tempo that I did earlier this week to 5, but oh man, I felt it coming on at the turnaround, and I thought jogging to 8 would just get rid of it, but no. There's the 13 miles I was scared to do last Sunday. And that tree was not there this morning when I was out like an hour ago. Oh, I'm beat up. That beat me up like a mofo, man. 6:33. Oh, that is a good way to end the week. I did not expect that this morning. I'm gonna go strong on the watch there. So if I did my math correctly, 58 miles on the week with 1 day off. We're getting up there. More stuff to talk about for next week. I'll save it for then because I feel like this video is already enough for you guys. Just a couple notes. It's just really nice to see with each week that passes. Like, I can literally feel myself getting stronger. The lungs don't burn as much. The legs have more turnover. I just, once again, need to pay attention to everything that's going on. If there's like a little bit of pain there, I need to take note of it and respond accordingly. But anyway, that's the end of week number 2. I hope you all enjoyed. Once again, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. I'd like to get a vlog or 2 out in this week as well.
in between these videos. I kind of slacked last week, so be on the lookout for those. But until I see you again, I love your faces. Goodbye.